Yeah. I was wondering if somebody from the city was available today too. I wanted to ask about the letters that went out about the water treatments.
Water treatment?
There was something about them signing backflow filters that went out to a bunch of Sturgis residents. They have a third-party company coming in through doing them.
Oh, does it tell you that you need to like make an appointment with them for them to come check it? Okay. So you'll have to make an appointment with that company to do that.
I can't speak with somebody in the city about it because they obviously hired them for a reason.
You could have just gotta try engineering.
Hello.
How are you?
Hi.
You have some questions about hydrocorp?
Yeah, I was wondering kind of what was going on with the like water and why we were hiring them out to come install backflow fermenters.
They're not installing them. They're checking to make sure that they are installed where they're needed. It's a
Okay.
requirement by the state every year to have a certain percentage of our system checked for backflow prevention.
Okay.
So, like, especially in areas where cross connection could be really high.
Okay.
Like if you have a sprinkler meter, there's a higher possibility, things like that. Are they requesting to look at yours?
No, I seen the notices come up and you guys are talking about installing backflow preventers, but all over the city we end up with puddles that smell like waste from the sewers every year. That seems kind of odd. Seems like on the Sturgis community page you're saying that HydroCorp's not charging anybody, but in the letter it says that we're responsible for paying for equipment if it needs installed.
Yeah, so you wouldn't be paying them because they wouldn't do the work. It's an inspection to make sure that it's done if it's needed, or if it's not there, they don't need it. So you would have to hire a plumber to do it if they found something. So, but backflow prevention isn't on sanitary; that is on your water system. So, I mean, technically, sometimes there is backflow prevention on sanitary, but not retroactively on the new ones designed to happen.
So this inspection has nothing to do with the fact that the city backs up into the street all the time?
I'm not sure where you're referring to that.
Well, I mean, right down here where they're building the Popeyes on that corner, that puddle of water always smells like feces after it rains. There's a couple other puddles around town that are over on Hatch Street, over by the liquor store. That one always, on that curb, always smells like feces. Around those more poor, broken down streets, you guys don't seem to do much about the sewer, and it lets it back up into the houses when it rains. Every time the city gets called out, you guys say just call a plumber out, come check it out. But if the sewer is not draining properly because every time it rains, then that's not on the homeowners.
Come with me, let me take your information so that we can get you to the right person. About we used to do lead and copper water sampling at your place, maybe? No.
I only really contact I've had with the city has been I had a FOIA request placed. Your guys' FOIA officer decided to not actually process for a month and just held on to it. She just decided that my name wasn't valid enough and decided that it wasn't worth putting through, and she admitted that to me over there next to the supervisor's office. Your town supervisor or mayor, I can't remember what he said his title was. He spoke to me and he said that he was going to go ahead and handle that. But I've yet to see any repercussion on it. I haven't placed another FOIA request to see if she handles it better yet, but it's something coming in the future. I need to see how she's doing her job, because if she can't do her job properly, she shouldn't be in that position working for the people.
So I will have our DPS supervisor get in touch with you about that. I'm not aware of anything that's leaking, but
yeah, there's if you guys drive around after it rains and just the puddles right that are sitting right in front of on the corners.
Okay.
Get out of your car and take a smell. I guarantee over half of them smell like feces.
And I know you said Hatch was one of them.
Hatch Street. There's the one right here by the Popeyes they're building right there on that corner. That puddle that is always across the whole crossing there where the sidewalk's at. I have to jump my bike off the curb every time because I don't want to run through that.
So are those just the two places that you're noticing it?
Those are the two I can tell you off the top of my head. If I go around after it rains, I can probably pick out about 16 more around the city. Like,
Okay, I will have, it'll either be Lee Ross or Tom Sikorsky give you a call.
Okay.
And they will either address this with you or I'm not sure how they'll handle it, but that's who will be contacting you.
all right. Yeah, I was
I
just
can
trying to
do it
make
my
sure
best
that there
too.
was no, like just charging people for something that's the city's issue because we pay tax dollars in to fund the sewer and repair the sewer as it's needed.
Yeah, it's my understanding that HydroCorp shouldn't be charging you for anything.
And that's what I'm gathering off of there. But the letter that the city sent out said that they would be charging for the parts and stuff that need to be installed. That's why I was making sure.
I don't think HydroCorp is supposed to install anything.
From what I'm seeing on there, it's just that they're giving out the backflow preventers to people and letting them install them themselves or get their own plumber.
Okay.
So it seems like it's pretty standard. But I wanted to make sure what was going on with the city before I actually went and wrote something up on it. So I wanted to make sure. I noticed actually in my investigations of it that Aaron Miller is now working with this city, correct?
I think he's a commissioner.
Commissioner.
Yeah, I think so.
I said, yeah, I know he used to be a state representative. He actually used to be my algebra teacher back in high school. So that was kind of cool to see that. I was like, well, if nobody else is going to listen to me, at least he will. So
He seems like a really nice guy. I've met him
for
just
sure.
in passing. That's it.
All right. Well, it's good to know. I appreciate you talking to me today.
No problem. I will pass this along and hopefully somebody gets a hold of you really shortly and
All right.
discusses it with you.
I appreciate it.
All right. Have a good one.
You too.